first of all, I did this. This is the thing with me because, as you probably remember, I'm a huge fan of yours. I mean, one of the for real, no bullshit. One of the reasons why I, with my ex-wife at the time, moved to Iceland was because of you and the gym and the guys that trained there and the mentality. And until since I left, I haven't been able to find 30% of that. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
No. You're not finding that same drive.
The drive, I'm still pushing it as much as I can, but the gear,
All
the
right.
equipment is just nothing close to that. The people, and I'm not bashing. Honestly, I'm not bashing on the Greeks because there are some strong guys here. The scene is becoming more and more
Oh yeah,
popular,
yeah,
but these guys are just scattered in the country. Maybe I'm guessing maybe 100 people, 150 people in the whole country, and it's like 10.5 million,
yeah,
almost 11 million. So it's not a good
yeah,
number.
yeah.
So
And,
yeah.
so you might be just training in like a normal gym or something like that and trying to get your things done there.
It's a fitness gym.
It's yeah, it can be a little bit more challenging and difficult, and they probably don't want you to put chalk on your hands and yes,
They won't let me use chalk on my hands. I can't. I'm using the fucking
no,
straw.
no,
My hands are seriously like the softest they've ever been. Like in my mind, I can never be soft. You remember how I was? I was a fucking maniac,
yeah,
right? And then I'm walking in there, it's like not even liquid chalk. And I'm like, how am I going to lift? And then it says, use straps. And then I'm thinking, why don't I strap on a vagina as well? Maybe I could, and I'm not bashing on the ladies, right? I'm not bashing on the ladies. There's some really strong women these days.
no,
So we cannot even use
oh
that
yeah,
anymore. You know what I mean?
unbelievable. No, no, I get it. The thing is, it's harder to find like the hardcore gyms.
It's impossible.
I actually train in a powerlifting strongman gym over here,
Nice.
which is it's even more hardcore than Jacopo.
What? That's crazy. What are they headbutting each
Yeah,
other, or what's next?
yeah, it's fine. There's a few things that I would want there that I have in Jacopo for my training, but it gets everything done. They got all sorts of bars and everything. They got 2 cages,
Oh,
2 monoliths, and yeah. So it's pretty good, and it does everything I need really. Does
yeah.
everything I need. So and they got stacks and stones outside. They got the track. They got stuff for strongman and for powerlifters.
Oh
So it's
man.
interesting to see. It's like powerlifters have this. They all come together like a Monday or whatever. The old bench press.
Yeah.
You know how that works. It's like people gather together and
That's
help each
nice.
other, and that's pretty much what you were used to with in Jacopo.
Yeah. So you're covered when it comes to that. It's full and it can accommodate somebody at your level and your experience. I'm guessing because you've done it all pretty much.
Well, I'm not using those big weights much anymore.
Yeah.
I just play around. I just play around with in bends somewhere of 120 kilos to 40 kilos
So health and
for like
yeah.
5 reps, whatever it is.
Okay.
Whatever I feel like in the day. I go to that. If I don't squat heavy, I've got to, because of I got metal knees now.
Yeah.
Both knees have been replaced. So, but I still do squats, not completely to like powerlifting level depth.
I understand. I get it.
We would call those strongman squats, but I still do them because I think it's good, and you need to build up strength and everything in the ligaments and in the knees as well. But I don't want to go crazy heavy, and I don't struggle. I just make it flow pretty easy.
You're still enjoying it.
But yeah.
Oh,
And
that's good.
the funny thing is, I started feeling pretty good. I was in Iceland for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, training was starting to feel really good. I'm like, oh, okay. So I did 170 kilos on bench. I'm like, and I still have like a more of a close grip bench because of, I just changed that when I started doing more strongman instead of the powerlifting. To just look more for the triceps, pressing power. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I set myself a goal. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 200 on bench this year just for the fun of it.
No surprise.
And of course I'm like, because I hadn't been training bench much, just like once in a while, because I've been bothering my shoulder. I hurt the supraspinatus a couple of years ago. I think it was when you were still here.
Yeah,
in Iceland, right?
I remember.
I have done 200 on bench since.
Okay, awesome.
But I couldn't even do a bench with a straight bar for 6 months after that happened. But I worked my way around it. I could use dumbbells because I could change the grip. Use dumbbells and stuff. You find a way to work around things and heal. And I started. I'm like, all right, and I deadlifted 250 kilos on my knees. I'm like,
no problem.
Okay. So I started trying to okay, I'm gonna do some more bench press, and of course I started getting pain in my shoulder. Now the other shoulder actually.
Oh. Okay.
I'm like, and I did another training. I did a 160 for 3 reps.
I haven't done that yet. Slow down.
so and then I started feeling this. I'm like, oh shit, damn. So I lowered the weights a bit, worked around it, and I even changed. I went to the under finger grip like that.
Okay.
Just to take a little bit, so your elbow position changes a little bit more.
Yeah.
Towards the body. When I got away with that, so today actually was my first bench press with a normal grip again, just to see how it would feel, and I was at 125 kilos, 5 sets of 5 reps, last reps with a stop. So
with a stop, yeah.
The funny thing is, the strength is there. It's just to get the body to accept it. The weight.
He has to wake up again. I mean, you've done it for a long, long time. It doesn't surprise that you would know your way around your injuries and stuff. You always come back stronger. I remember.
Yeah. Well, I just turned 61, so
I know. I looked
it's
it up.
not bad for an old man.
No. I actually took the time to write down a few questions. They're not huge, but the people.
Right.
I mean, I was breaking your balls from 2011 2019. So just the people who are watching may not know the stuff that we've talked about. Just my girlfriend actually hand wrote these. Yeah, that's right. I'm not charging you for this.
Did she write them in English or Greek?
It is in English, actually, see?
Okay.
I mean, my letters look like dog shit. I could have never done this. Look how nice they are. But because I typed them in my phone, and then I thought, but I'm going to use my phone. How the hell am I going to do this, But because I came straight from work, and I mean straight, I didn't have a chance to print them out. So I thought, dude, you gotta save me and write this down for me and stuff like that. So, are you ready?
All right.
Okay.
Bring it on.
All right. So number 1 is, from all the contests I was able to find online, you were always in the top 3. Is this a fact? Like, did you ever fall off the podium in anything?
Yeah, I think I did. Not sure though.
I'm not sure either. I wasn't able to find it.
In 97, that was my last entry at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And I didn't manage to qualify it.
Okay.
It was the weirdest thing. I picked up an injury on my last training session. And it was bothering me. the funny thing, I was training on Friday and was flying out to World's Strongest Man on Monday.
Oh man!
And I was doing light squats in a Smith machine because, if I remember right, and I had this thing in my lower back, like into the hip.
Yeah.
And it just bothered me. It took me like 5 minutes just to stand up.
Oh man!
And so I called my doctor, and he gave me shots in that, like a cortisone shots.
Okay.
Both in his house, because he wasn't at the office. So I came to his house both Saturday and Sunday, and he gave me shots in that. And then I went to World's Strongest Man, not trusting it, and unfortunately I didn't qualify, which was a shame, because that was the only World's Strongest Man where the events and final were like good in form.
Oh man!
So there was a squat. It was won by I think 380 kilos or something.
Okay.
Every time I did it, I went way above 400.
I know.
420, 420 or 30 or whatever it was. There was a deadlift. It was good. There was two kinds of loading. Yeah. There was like a medley and then a barrel loading. There was log for reps from the ground.
Okay.
And like I said, it was it was written for me, and I was pretty confident that I would win it if I just would get through the qualifiers. But unfortunately, that didn't pan out that way because even though your mind says go, but you know about the problem, you know it's there.
Yeah.
And your body will kind of won't allow you to push as far as
I understand it. Yeah.
you want. So that would be, if I look back, the one that I know I didn't. Yeah.
We don't like that one. I didn't write down all the stuff you've done because you've done so much stuff. It would take us about an hour 45 minutes to talk about all the stuff you've done. The World's Strongest Man, Europe's Strongest Man, and I think it was 7-time Iceland's Strongest Man. You did 9 times or 8, I can't remember at all by heart, but the Westfjord Viking. You've done so much stuff that I thought, man, there's no it's easy because you're so popular, so people can look it up. That's what I mean. So I thought I should ask you. Yeah. I should ask you stuff about that people probably
Iceland's Strongest Man. I didn't compete always because I was just busy doing other things.
I know. And you wanted other guys to win it too. You were kind enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that stuff. Okay, let's see. The second question is that even a question? Yeah, it's a question. You reached elite status in powerlifting very early in your career. Do you feel that strongman was just a natural progression? Or did you want to become a strongman anyway? Did it lead you to that, or did you say, yeah, let's do that then, or how did it go?
The funny thing, I had been doing. I think I did my first strongman somewhere around 85. I'm not sure, can't remember.
Yeah.
I remember I'm doing some strongman. I was doing powerlifting. I think 88 and 89, we were doing a team. I was doing a team things.
Yeah.
Competitions with health here. We were winning those.
When Kazma tried to kill Odie with the barrel.
yeah, exactly. But I went to the European Powerlifting Championships.
Yeah.
I think it was in France, if I remember right. There were a couple of us went there.
Yeah.
And I was in a minus 125 kilo class. This was 91. And I beat everybody and the super heavies as well by a 50 kilo margin. in total. And I was the best powerlifter on points.
Yeah, I bet. I'm not surprised.
Next weekend, I was in Scotland doing Helen Games.
No rest.
Strongman and Helen Games. It's like, it was never hard for me to switch over to strongman. It was like, I was always pretty athletic, so it was an easy thing.
Yeah.
A lot of powerlifters have difficulties switching. There is a different training, and
This guy.
Yeah.
No cardio.
It's like it is what it is. But so I was going to go for World Championships in powerlifting in '91.
Yeah.
Which I would have won. I think I would have won because it was won by a whole lot lower total than I did at the Europeans. And but I got invited to do World's Strongest Man. I chose to do that.
Yeah.
And I won it. So
I know.
after that, there was no way back. And
I get it, yeah.
and I then I got second 92, second 93. I should have won it in '92.
That's with the who's the first one? Oh, fuck me.
It's just one of those things,
Seriously. So
not always things go in your favor. A little mistake or whatever can cost you dearly.
Yes.
In someone, and it just the way it is. But I never watched that show ever.
I can understand it. I can imagine.
But I believe that I had something to prove, and so I came back and won 3 years in a row, just to prove a point that I just wasn't lucky.
You killed him. No, it wasn't lucky. This is coming. There's a few questions coming up about your skill level and your speed and all that stuff, so we're gonna get to that for sure. Let's see. Okay, here's a nice one. Would you like to share a few stories about the great Jón Paul Sigmarsson? A few memories that come to mind that you experienced with him and stuff like that.
Jón Paul was a little bit ahead of me. He was a little bit ahead in the powerlifting as well. He started slightly before. I think he was 3 years older, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think he would have been 64, 65 today, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And but I did learn a lot from him. We did travel some together, and we always had some funs and laughs.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest thing is like, we would go to a club or whatever, and he would be doing, this with his chest. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, there were like girls talking to us or something, and he would start doing that, and they would go like, how do you do that? Well, he said, well, you can do it.
Yeah.
And they would go trying, and nothing happened. And
yeah.
He said, and then he would go like, I bet you I can help you make that happen.
Yeah.
I'll bet you 5 pounds, whatever, 5 pounds, I think it was.
Yeah.
So they'll go, oh, okay, and they would stick out their chest, all right. so he would just grab them and go like, and then hand them the 5 pounds. All right, I lost.
Yeah, he seemed like
it was when he started this at one of the hotels we were staying at, and this older woman was serving us, and he was going to start. I'm like, no, don't listen to him.
You saved her then.
Yeah, exactly.
He seemed like a great guy. I don't want to trail off, but I actually had a chance to visit his grave a couple of times with Árni, and I think once more with Gummi and Árni Gudmundur, and it was a surreal moment for me, because I feel so bad that I never got a chance to, say hello, obviously. But out of respect, I never posted that picture, like it's the man's grave. I thought it's disrespectful. But the aura and I'm not a superstitious guy. I don't, I don't really believe in energy and stuff like that. But I felt it. I thought, man, this is strong. I felt it, and it was a man that I never met. I cannot explain it. I think I'm just such a huge fan of strength that you know what I mean. This to me, strength is important.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it so it happens that he was a good person. I mean, if he was if he was a jerk, who cares? You know what I mean? But this was a good person.
yeah. No, he was great.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, one more thing. I remember the football bar that you made for him. You remember the one with the circles where the hands go in and you could turn them? The close grip bench bar. And when
Yeah,
you told me, you were like, hey, I made that bar for you. But Sigma was like, I don't remember when that was. 2014 you brought it in? I can't remember. And
yeah, I have it,
yeah, and once you told us, we were all like,
and I'm about to start manufacturing it
you should.
or selling.
You should. You should.
Yeah,
You should. That's a great idea.
because the thing is, like when I did training on it, because my shoulder was hurting, and
Yeah,
it takes that pressure off the shoulder. You turn those handles,
of course.
but you're still training bench.
Yeah, it's triceps and lockout and
You're
chest. Yeah.
actually doing bench press with a straight bar is not the natural position.
No, I agree. I understand what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually writing about that I'm writing my second book, and I'm an asshole. I haven't sent you my first book, which is gonna happen tonight. I promise. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, let's stick to the questions, and we'll talk about the other stuff. Okay, number 4 is a big percentage of the strongman athletes in the '90s were Scandinavian. What is it that makes you guys so good at strength sports? Because you guys are good at pretty much any sport that you tackle.
I don't know. I can't say about the other Scandinavians, but a lot of the Scandinavians, I believe, come from the Vikings.
Yeah.
And, Vikings were tough people. And they lived under tough circumstances. And even, when people were starting to live in Iceland, that was not easy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
the thing is, I was a lot brought up on a farm. And I came to farms. Even when I started school, I was just still going to farm in summer and pretty much working my ass off.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
And the farmer there was like, there was nothing done the easy way. Everything was hard,
Oh yeah.
heavy.
That's where you got your grip from.
And I just had to get stronger.
Okay. So it was that's what I mean, because I was looking at the finals and you're obviously your strongest man, and then in the '90s the World Strongest Man finals had at least 1 to 2, maybe sometimes 3 Scandinavians in it. Ahola and Riku Kiri was, I can't remember. Am I right?
Yeah.
Him and
Yeah.
you, of course, and Torfi. Am I right? But I can't. It's so many athletes.
We had Norwegians,
Yeah,
Swedes,
yes.
Danish.
It's crazy.
But,
It's just, yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. It's like I was kind of before, because you would call it the Eastern Europe.
Oh yeah.
They started coming more into it.
Yeah, they blew up.
And funny enough, the Americans were a little bit, it wasn't that popular at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, but not that many was training it. Now you got thousands.
They took over.
You got thousands.
Yeah.
They put on a competition here. They ran through in a couple of days 200, 400 athletes.
To qualify for bigger contests and stuff like that, right?
Oh, they got weight classes. They got women. The women today, and
It's insane. I know. It's
they're
insane.
unbelievable.
It's insane.
I would have never believed that you could push. A woman would be able to lift those weights.
Yeah.
And it just shows you what good training, that all that has changed as well.
Of course.
Training and the nutrition and
Yeah.
I never had a coach. I coached myself.
Yeah.
Never had a nutritionist. I pretty much just ate everything I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
And I was, and I had serious problems trying to put on weight.
That's me.
I got stronger, but I had problems trying to get heavier.
Yeah.
The heaviest I ever got, if I remember, was about 134 kilos.
Seriously?
Usually, the heaviest I was at World's Strongest Man was 128.
I thought you were about 137 to 140 kilograms.
No.
I'm heavier than
Never.
you? Yeah, okay.
The weight doesn't matter.
No, of course not.
I just looked at it that, if you can still be the best in a deadlift, you can out squat everybody or right, you're there. But you also gain by being athletic in some of the other events.
Exactly, the moving events,
So
the carrying events.
if you have that whole package, I think it's good. Funny enough, I remember I did a show when I was 134 kilos. And I felt even out of breath at that weight. And I'm like, I didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah. And you're not a small guy.
That's me,
You're not a small guy. People, it's an illusion with you because, and you're also a very humble guy, which also, that, and I'll explain that how I mean it, because they see you with pictures with like Huffy, and then with Brian Shaw, and then, those super massive people who are, they're fucking huge, right? They don't understand that you at that age, and 60 is not old, but you're certainly not 35. You're big. You're still big. And when I first met you, you were pretty big. But it's not just the weight, it's the muscle. You know what I mean? You at 130 kilograms look a lot bigger than the average, like 300-pound guy, 285. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm down to like 112 kilos now. I feel great.
You still look great. Yeah. You've always looked great.
I just blame it. I just try to keep myself in decent shape, and no reason to let it go and just get a beer belly or whatnot.
Well, a little bit of beer belly is okay if it comes from beer and stuff, but helps with the stones, I'm guessing. Okay, let's see. All right, here's another one. Were other members of your family super strong before you? A father, an uncle, perhaps a grandfather, or were you an exception?
There were sports people in my family ancestors. My father was not that tall, but my grandfather was.
Okay.
And my mother's side, farmers.
Okay, there you go. That grip of yours, that's where it came from.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you...
I don't think I ever lost the grip.
No. Do you remember the time... This is when I started having problems with my back, if you remember, like end of 15. When I had because I had the disc, not hernia, but degeneration. So this disc started collapsing. And at this point, all these years later, it's like kind of like bone on bone. And I remember when it was Bruno there and everybody was there. And I said to you, my back is killing me. My glutes were tight. I couldn't reach down to tie my shoe. Couldn't reach, well, I still can't because I'm fat, and you said it has to be your, yeah. And you said it has to be your hamstrings. Let's check out your hamstrings. And you lay me down on the bench on my chest. Man, you remember? I mean, you've mobilized and massaged all these. So that sounds very wrong, but anyway, you helped a lot of guys at that place, right? And man, you fucking killed me. You stuck your thumbs in there in my hamstrings. I was screaming. I was trying to escape you. I tried to swim away on the bench. I'm not lying. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I had tears coming down, and you were like, Petty, where are you going? I'm like, I'm trying to get away. And I thought, man, that man's grip is just insane. And just to add to that story that you have a good grip, and people don't know until they meet you. You have a great, great grip.
Yeah, but a couple of times I had to work on Bruno. I think I'm the only one that ever made Bruno cry.
I mean, you know what he did once? He stood on my hamstring with his heels. Stood.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was surreal. That's the second time I started screaming. I'm not. I mean, I'm not Magnus for Magnusson, but I dare say that I can take pain. Right? Well, not these two times. I couldn't take pain those two times. Man, you guys
Yeah.
really killed me.
A lot of the times, if you get this problem into your back, it can be because your hamstrings are too tight, your hips are too tight. It can all lead up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on. Okay, that's a simple one. Which is your favorite powerlifting event and why?
I used to love to squat.
Okay, you had a big squat too.
Yep. The squat was the hardest one to train, really. But I really did like the squat and powerlifting. Yeah, I would say the squat.
The squat, that's crazy because it's my favorite exercise, and most strongmen say the deadlift because the deadlift is everywhere in strongman. So many different variations of it. You always see like upper deadlift, and the tires deadlift, and the huge elephant bar, but the squat that makes me happy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the squat. If you really work hard on your squat, your deadlift will actually gain from it.
Yeah, exactly. So people need to squat more, I guess. That's the message, right? Okay, let's see. There's another one. Okay, same question, but for strongman. Name some of your favorite strongman events. Which ones do you enjoy the most? Or did you enjoy the most when you were competing?
Lifting nature stones.
I knew you were going to say the stones. I swear I knew it. You were so good with the stones.
Pressing stones overhead.
Okay.
Lifting nature stones. To me, that's the ultimate challenge because every stone is a new challenge. Instead of just grabbing Atlas stones, they're all look the same. You pretty much kind of grab them the same. And so any kind of a challenge like that, I like.
I knew you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say some those carrying events because you were so good at them. I remember watching the finals, and one of the finals you were bumping the stones. You were just hitting the spot, running back, and I was like, man, how is he doing that? Seriously. You were so accurate with your technique. So let's see. Okay. Oh, that's a relevant one to our discussion. You and Jon Paul were trailblazers in the sport in regards of strength, execution, and speed. How did you prepare for the contests back in the 80s, late 80s, and the 90s?
Well, neither of us had the equipment that like everybody has now.
Yeah.
I trained in the gym, but I did a lot of, and so did Jon Paul. We did a lot of movements to symbolize that we would do it. I did a lot of step ups actually.
Really?
To help with something like truck pulls and stuff like that. So you're getting the body used to working on one leg at a time instead of just squatting or things like that. I would walk around with, around the gym or whatever, with heavy dumbbells in my hands. Because, dumbbells want to roll out of your hand. That's a kind of different grip a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was walking around with 80 kilos dumbbells in each hand. And, it's just to build up that, muscle endurance, the lactic acid buildup. You want that to come really, really late.
Yeah.
And so I would do things like that. And I think that helped, but now the training is different now because everybody has super yokes to run with, or they got they train truck pull over, but
They got everything these days, these kids.
funny enough, I don't think I hardly trained even truck pull. I just knew how to do it.
You never trained it. What the hell?
I don't think I ever trained it now.
That's crazy. I mean, you were born for it, I guess. Let's see. Okay, now that's one of my favorites. What most people don't know is that you have a strength coach certification, if I'm not mistaken, signed by the legend Fred Hatfield. I remember that hanging in your office in Iceland.
Yeah.
I asked you the story. I mean, that's fucking 8 years ago. Can you repeat the response so everybody can hear it? I can't remember the answer to it. How did you get it under Fred Hatfield?
Fred Hatfield came to Iceland, did a powerlifting meet, did like a seminar and things like that. So there was a few of us that were there, and he was checking out your form, etc., on the lifts, and letting everybody come and look at how their form were, how they would perform the lift. And funny enough, every time I showed everything, he just went like, "All right, perfect. You're good." He was correcting everybody else.
Yeah. How? What year was it?
Oh, that must have been somewhere around 80. I don't know, 85 maybe, 84.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
You still got that paper?
Yeah.
Man.
It's hanging on the wall in the gym.
Oh man, that's awesome. I couldn't believe it when I saw it because, I consider I'm a powerlifting geek, as you probably know by now. And when I saw it, I was like, that's fucking Fred. I mean, the guy was an absolute legend and an innovator. He came up with a few machines, right? And the safety bar. I think I think
Oh yeah.
I think Louis Simmons was talking about it. Remember, Louis said that Fred Hatfield actually sent him a safety bar, or I guess the Hatfield bar, squat bar, whatever. The guy was a brilliant coach and an athlete. That was just amazing.
But he was a pioneer as well. Like one of his things was like, speed is king. So lift fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be explosive.
Absolutely, man, that's awesome.
That's something that I followed all the time. Try to be explosive.
Yeah, absolutely. Speed is power. I agree. Let's see. Ooh, that's a big one. You have to be patient with me with this one because I'm gonna name some of the guys you competed against. Okay, you've competed with world-class athletes like Carlson, Samuelsson, Riku Kiri, Yuko Ahola, who's one of my favorites. The guy was a fucking madman. Ori Wilson, Philippi, Bergmanis, Reeves, Taylor, Pattenhorst, Hoiberl, and Fleming Rasmussen. Now the question is, I wanted to say that so people are watching so they could, hear some of the names. If you had to pick one of them, who made the most impression to you? Who do you think was the best out of all the guys?
I think Riku Kiri at that time was not the strongest guy, never to win World Strongest Man.
Oh man, yeah, that's.
Yeah. He was winning a lot of contests at the time, Europe's in Finland, he was that. I would be second or third or whatever, just like, but when it came to World Strongest Man, that's when I put my game face on. Everything else was training.
Yeah,
I didn't care much about any other title. I just wanted that one.
You didn't do that many contests. Not, like...
I did a lot of contests, but, at some point I was doing exhibitions and contests that were up to 30 a year.
How many contests do you think that you've done as an amateur and a pro strongman?
I've got no idea.
Guess 100, 80, I'm guessing 70.
Yeah, just like, there are probably hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. I can imagine. I thought you were gonna say Yuko Ahola. To me was amazing. He was kind of like the
No,
Pujanowski before Pujanowski. You know what I mean?
but I want to point out though, uh, who impressed me was Manfred Herbal. No, Yoko impressed me a whole lot as well.
Yeah.
But Yoko was one of the first guys with Sven Carlsen to really train the events,
Okay.
build equipment and train the events.
Right.
I want to say Manfred because he really gave me a run for the money.
Yeah. He pushed it a lot, didn't he?
And, in Sun City, I think it was it Sun City? Yeah, it came down to the stones. Whoever would win the stones would win the contest. I think we were equal on points going into the last event. So I just had to win the stones.
That's that easy. Okay.
But me and Matt have always been good friends.
That's awesome.
And but actually, I've been good friends with most of these athletes.
It's a family. I think strongman is.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of a little different coming from powerlifting into strongman. It's like powerlifting, they would be warming up or whatever, sitting in their corner and checking everybody out or whatever. Strongman is like a more kind of family thing. They'll help each other or point something out. So
yeah, I agree.
The thing is, everybody appreciates what you're going through and what you're doing because they go through it themselves.
Yeah, I've noticed through the years with the powerlifters, there's a lot of politics going on. Like anywhere you go, it's crazy. It's the same here, and like if you don't belong in one of the groups or one of the teams, they don't really. They're not super excited for you to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna point out I might have about 10 minutes, 8 minutes left of time. I gotta go pick up my fiance from work.
All right. A few more questions. I want your honest opinion. Do you think Hafthor will be able to win World's Strongest Man again with the roster of these really good guys that they have these days?
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
See, yeah, there's a lot of good guys that he might be able to, but you don't know unless you show up.
Yeah, I think Hooper is killing it. He's just amazing. He's amazing.
He's a hell of an athlete. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah.
Now, and Tom Starkman is unbelievable as well.
Oh yeah. He's amazing. He has to look out for these guys for sure. Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna do. I mean, Hafthor is an amazing athlete himself. He can be so quick at that size. It's just crazy to watch the guy run around with.
There's no doubt about that. But there's a lot of even younger top athletes. There's Matt Bragg. There's like a lot of new names that just are unbelievable.
Absolutely, the sport is evolving for sure. All right, let's. I'm gonna go into. I didn't write that many questions. I just wanted to point out a few of, I guess, more personal things I wanted to talk to you about like memories and stuff. Do you remember me walking out from the meet in December of 2015? That's when my back had started to give me problems. I actually walked out. We did a push pull. It was December, and I walked out during the deadlift. My back was killing me. I laid on the ground and I thought, yeah, fuck this, I'm out. I was so disappointed in myself. I think like around 175, 180 warm up was almost impossible for me to pick up. And spring of 15, I had pulled 240, and I thought this is not happening right now. I remember. I mean, you've done so many meets since then. If you've organized, I didn't think you would remember it, but when I was walking out, I felt so bad about myself. Like, am I really gonna walk out? I couldn't accept the fact that this is bullshit right now. My body, not it wasn't the contest fault. And when I saw, I think you were washing your hands. You were in the bathroom and open door washing your hands. and you said, Terry, are you leaving? And I said, yeah, I felt so guilty because it was you. I thought, man, you're gonna regret this for sure, but it was killing me. I thought, what am I gonna pull? 195 kilograms, but it's something that I felt very bad about it, and I still regret it to this day. Actually, I cannot. I would have stayed now. But today, I would have stayed, but
Sometimes, our body says no, and we gotta listen to it.
yeah, I'm still in pain since then. Do you know? I've been in pain with my back for 9 years. I'm still in pain today. It's not.
Are you seeing a chiropractor?
I've seen chiropractors. I've done it. I've done everything. I've done the scan, and it's. I have three discs that have deteriorated. I've actually lost a little bit of height, and it's kind of like it's not 100% bone on bone. From L6, I
Yeah.
think L5 and L4, and it's bad. It's not as bad as back then, because I've managed to like get stronger again, but it's not where I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I was thinking, and this is one of the next questions. It's just I don't want to waste your time. I know you have to go. I was thinking about the plasma replacement therapy, where they enrich your blood, they put it back in and stuff like that. Kind of like stem cells. It's not stem cells. A friend of
Yeah.
mine suggested it recently, and I was really thinking about hopping on it because
But I just had a overall body stem cells last Sunday
did you?
in Utah.
Oh man, is it? I'm jealous. Could you send me some stem cells?
But, I've done a lot of stem cells before, but that was put in my knees.
I remember that.
That was before I was hoping for that would kind of save my knees, but they were too far gone.
I remember that.
So,
You didn't work the first time.
but this is supposed to help with all sorts of repairing and stuff like that. So, but I'm really excited to see how that goes, how I'll feel, and I'm already planning on going there again next year for the same thing,
Oh man,
to repeat it.
can I come with you? But you're paying though.
Yeah, that injection costs about $6,000.
Yeah, you're definitely paying. All right, let me see. Okay, there's another memory that I wanted to share with you since I haven't talked to you, well, not, I guess, live in 5 years now. Do you remember in 2014, I think it was after a couple contests that we did, powerlifting contests, and Ricky was there, and I was deadlifting with straps, and I pulled 245 kg, and you were sitting there, and you told me, I don't know if you remember this, but you said, hey, how much do you weigh? And I was like 112 kg, about 250 pounds or so, for the viewers that are not Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
And you said to me, if you should get a little bit stronger. I said, because you asked me how much are you pulling from the blocks. I was pulling like 255, 250. And you said, hey, you get a little bit stronger, and then maybe the next few years I can put you in the world Iceland Strongest Man competition. And that meant the world to me. That still replays in my mind because I'm obsessed with lifting. I mean, you know that, right? You
Yeah.
should know that by now that I'm a fucking freak.
Yeah.
That meant the world to me. I thought, man, I'm gonna fucking. That's it, that's it. I never had aspirations to be fucking, Derek Poundstone. I'm not delusional, I understand that I was gonna stay at the amateur level, but it meant so much to me coming from you. I thought, man, this really happened right now. This is insane, I remember that, but my back didn't allow me to. My back just fucking ruined everything. It really did. Back then, of course, I actually managed to pull early February 272.5 kilograms. First time, that's 600 pounds. But I had to switch to sumo because I couldn't. My back cannot take the pressure. I just can't.
Yeah.
I think if I really push it,
Now, if you do the sumo, you are able to transition it more to the legs.
yeah, that's it. I had
Yeah.
to switch. I couldn't. I didn't like switching to sumo. That's 8 years ago now. But after I did some static monster contests in 2019 and 20, where I forced myself to switch to conventional of like 3-5 months in the year, then I realized that training both, and now I'm training both. Almost in every session, I'm splitting
Yeah.
the sets between sumo and conventional, and the squat has gone up, and my back is feeling a lot better. It still hurts, but it's nothing compared to like 2016, I was
I
complete
actually
shit.
used to train both at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very smart way to go. Let's see. Okay, I think I got one more. Oh yeah, I got one last question to ask you, and this to me this is the most important one. Have you been able to find another fat hairy Greek to replace me in Yagabol?
No, no. I think that's impossible to replace you.
Is it impossible because of my levels of fat or my levels of?
Yeah, no, there's, you're Terry El Toro.
Yes, you gave me that one. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so no
Well, I was just
replacement.
having difficulties, pronouncing your name. So El Toro sounded much better.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm still trying to keep up with the mystique of fatness and hairiness. Dude, I got hair everywhere. I'm almost 43 now, so
Yeah.
when
You're getting more gray than me, actually, I
I
think.
am getting more. Well, there's a lot of sun here. Honestly, it's 27. It was 26 degrees today. I went out for work and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck me, this is not happening. I might be Greek, but I always enjoyed the cold weather. Another reason why I wanted to move to Iceland. I just loved the snow and everybody minding their own
You can always
business.
come back, man.
I am planning on coming back to compete. I have promised myself that, and the guys Etta and Gudmundur and Kelly. I still talk with these guys, quite a lot.
Yeah.
And Valdemar, and I am certainly coming back to compete. I want to hit. I'm competing now in 6 weeks, and I don't want to talk big because last contest sucked. I didn't do very well, but I want to try to get as close to 700 kilo total as possible. And I mean, it's not good, but I'm almost 43 now, so I'll take it for now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've moved. I pretty much just do one powerlifting contest a year with everything, and just a raw thing.
No time.
Which I've started doing. I think they are in late February every year now.
Okay. Okay.
So you got many months to get ready.
Oh, say it's happening next year. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. Are you gonna do you visit?
All right, I gotta head out, man.
All right, all right. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was
And never stop training.
no. I'll keep bugging you on Messenger, and thank you so much
All right,
for your time.
and stay strong.
Wow, I don't. Yeah, I have something, but it's not. No, yeah, yeah. Always trying to find a way to crush me. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. All right.
All right, talk to
Take
you
care,
later,
my
man.
friend. Bye bye.